What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is the Real Housewives of Miami, season 4, episode 4. So we start this episode off. Poor Alexis is sitting at the cafe waiting on her dead husband's lover to come through and give her some insight on the ins and the outs, the who, the what, the when, the where, and the how. And he leaves her hanging. Like, he don't come through. Now, let's be clear. I knew he left her hanging. You know how I knew he left her hanging? Because they still blurring out his face and blurring out his name. So I figured if he came on camera and actually had a whole conversation on camera admitting that he had an affair with this married man's husband, then there wouldn't be no reason to blur him out. So I knew that he ain't come through. But what we find out is that later on in the episode, we find out that she was talking to Myra and her assistant, and she did talk to the guy, and they had a 4-hour conversation. And she said that in that 4 hours, that she absolutely did get a lot of answers that she needed. She found out that the two of them, that her husband and this man, had been having an affair since a year before they were separated. Myra asked, "Do you think that that was the catalyst for the divorce?" And she was like, "No, I think he really truly just like loved both of us and was just trying to, balance, like really fight between being in both worlds, Found out that the husband or the ex-husband took care of the gay lover, bought him a home in Cuba and all that good stuff." And so it sounds like this man really was just struggling with living the life he wanted to live and be who he really wanted to be, right? So we had that. Now we see Larsa taking her daughter shopping. We find out that the oldest son is 20 and getting ready to, he getting ready to head into the NBA. The other son is in college. The third son is in a basketball program, and the daughter actually lives with her. Now, later on in the episode, she says that the kids live with her, but she said in an earlier episode that only the son lived with her. So, child, I don't know who lives with who, child. I don't know. But, I mean, the daughter. But neither here nor there. We see the daughter go on a personal shopping situation, getting ready for, going into school. And, of course, the daughter is gorgeous and she's cute and all that. And, baby, she said that her daughter is 12 years old and she only takes pictures when she getting paid. I said, well, listen, I'm not even mad at you, girl. If people are paying you to take pictures, bless you. 12 years old. I mean, it's no different than being a child model, right? If she's an influencer at 12 years old, girl, I ain't mad at you. So we head out to the farm, child. We head out to Julia's farm. It's her birthday coming up, and Ariana is there, or Adriana is there. I want to say Ariana, but Adriana is there. And Gertie comes through. Now, I don't know if it started before this episode, but in this episode, it absolutely seemed to be an issue with Gertie and Ariana. Actually, more Ariana's part than on Gertie's part, because I don't even think Gertie was thinking about Ariana until Ariana started throwing a whole bunch of shade. But when they're out there, Gertie volunteered to do Juliana's birthday party, as like that's her birthday gift to her. She's volunteered to do it. And my thing is this: if somebody that I know gets paid thousands and thousands of dollars to plan parties for the stars and the who's who and the what's what, and they say they're gonna do it to me for free, I'm sure there's some people that she's getting some publicity off of doing it for the show and all of that. But at the end of the day, she's voluntarily doing this for me for free. Guess what? Girl, throw the party, whatever you want, whatever theme you want, whatever food you want. Just tell me what time to be there, okay? Now, they're at the farm, right? Adriana shows up in a white dress with some white Valentino sandals to walk around the farm. And while Gertie is getting the lay of the land and they working, because she got to figure out all of the what's what and get the logistics, Ariana is walking around with her umbrella, because it looks like it was either overcast or maybe it had actually been raining. And she is carrying her damn Burberry umbrella with her feet sinking into the poop and the mud. And had the nerve to be getting mad and getting an attitude. Girl, ain't nobody tell you to show up to the farm in no damn white dress and some white stiletto sandals. Girl. So they get back to the house, and she's gonna tell she told Juliana that she needed to wash her feet. Like she needed to rinse her feet off, right? Now she didn't say that. She didn't tell Juliana she needed to wash her feet for her. She said that she needed to rinse her, that she needed to get her feet rinsed off because, you know, they were muddy and they had poop and all that on them. Girl, Juliana goes and gets two like, you know, trays, I mean not trays, but you know, little things, you know, like, you know, basins, that's the word I'm looking for. And she proceeds to wash this woman's feet. Well, she started out by washing her shoes off. I'm gonna give you that. She washed this woman's feet and then gave her a foot massage. Let me tell you something. You better be Jesus Christ himself for me. I be getting down there washing somebody's feet. I promise you that. And that is no disrespect to people who do it for a living. That's no disrespect to people who, you know, that they're in that field. I ain't talking about that. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about me. Me. I ain't about to get down there and wash my friend's feet because her feet got muddy at my house, girl. If you don't go around the side of the house and get that water hose and rinse them feet off and keep it moving, and ain't nobody tell you to wear no damn Valentino sandals to the damn stiletto heels to the damn farm. Now I can see if I tricked you and you ain't know where you was coming. Girl, you knew where you was coming. To the farm. With its poop and mud. Girl. So then, later on in the evening, Gertie and Juliana get to talking. She asked Juliana about her daughters. You know, she was like, oh, do your daughters like coming out to the farm? And she was like, girl, no, they don't like it out here at all. And so Gertie was like, well, do you wish you had boys? You ever wish you had boys? And Juliana immediately starts crying, right? And we find out that she did have a son. Her firstborn was a son. His name was Maximilian. She said that the nurse that she hired to be his nanny, basically, she insinuated that the woman killed her son. She said that he died. He was in a coma like 2 days after she hired this woman with shaken baby syndrome. And then the nurse disappeared, never to be found again. Now, I'm sure she disappeared because she knew that one or two things was getting ready to happen to her. Either she was about to go to jail or she was about to be dead. So that's why she disappeared. So Gertie starts crying and Gertie gets upset. Well, we find out that Gertie had a daughter originally and her daughter had died. And so both of them sort of bond over their tears, right? And in their face, Adriana is like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm so sorry for your loss. Oh my goodness, it's terrible. But in her confessional, she starts going off on Gertie, talking about how could she turn this into her moment. This was Juliana's moment. And how could she take it and make it about her? And she just got to, you know, it's a tit for tat with her. And I'm going to say this. I've said this a million times on my platform. And for those of you who are new to my platform, I'm just letting you know this is something I've said before. People act like having a child is so easy, that it's just a woman's birthright that they get pregnant. They have a healthy pregnancy for 9 months. They have a child and the child is born with health, born healthy with all their fingers and all their toes and all of their fine motor skills intact. And they grow up and they have a perfect child. And that is just not the reality for a lot of women. So to sit here and say that Gertie couldn't be triggered and Gertie doesn't have her own story. And when Juliana is sitting there crying and telling her story about her son dying, if I'm a woman that has had a child that has died as an infant, whether it was because I miscarried, whether it was because the baby was born and died later, 2 days later, a week later, a month later, what you don't get to do, you don't get to minimize my pain. You don't get to tell me that I don't have a right to my feelings in the moment, okay? Now, I understand that Juliana is your friend and maybe you felt like Gertie was doing that to get some attention, but you don't get to make that decision. You don't get to decide whether my pain is valid enough for you to feel like I should have shared it. Girl, if you don't go sit down somewhere, that made me mad. And that started off this whole situation that we're going to get to at the end of this episode with Adriana and Gertie, but we'll get there later. So then, Child Larsa is looking for a house out in Boca Raton, and she got, who she got with her? Lisa, I think. Child, I can't keep up with these people. Listen, I'm about to say something that's about to be a little bit mean, okay? And I normally try not to go there, y'all. I try not to be talking about like people's looks and stuff, because I know people look at me and be like, girl, what you gonna say? And that's fine. I accept that. But listen, Is it me or are Lisa's lips getting bigger and bigger every episode? Lisa, girl, stop it. Just stop. That's all. Stop. Anyway, I think it was Lisa that did go with Larsa out to this property. Now the house looked nice. It looks like a nice piece of property, but at the end of the day, she was like, girl, this too far out to be driving. You like to be in the know. You like to be in the mix. You like to be at all the hot spots and all the nice spots and all the in-between spots. And girl, this is just too far out for you to be out here traveling. And then she, got to talking again about, her life, that now she's living her best life and that, she was a stay-at-home mom for many years and people think that she just out here, wilding out. But people don't understand that she really did, she was a stay-at-home mom and she was, a basketball wife and she took care of her husband and she took care of her kids. And yeah, now she's going through this divorce. She's ready to rock and roll and, single and ready to mingle kind of situation. Anyway, then we are around Dr. Nicole and her mama and her son. And listen, Nicole, I feel like your story is deep and, it's a lot to it and there's some layers to it. But I feel like this is only episode number 4. And after this is the 3rd time I've heard the story. And you can keep adding to it. And you can keep reiterating it. But at the end of the day, we get it. Your daddy went to jail, left your mama a single mama, and your mama had to struggle, and that's what gave you your willpower and gave you, the what's the word I'm looking for? The drive to make sure that you weren't going to end up like your mama. I get it. You respect your mama, you love your mama, and everything that your mama did and endured. Like, I get it, girl. I get it. For real, I do. Seriously, I get it. Anyway, so after that, child, we get to the party, okay? Everybody's getting ready for the party. The theme is Tulum, okay? Once again, let me say this again before I go any further. Gertie is doing this for free, okay? So Gertie gets to the house early. She's making sure that everything is everything, that her people are doing what they're supposed to be doing, and the table is set, and the bar is ready, and the food is in the oven, and all her people have shown up to do all the things that they were supposed to do. Adrienne shows up with her damn... Listen. Did y'all see what was going on at this house before the people got there? How they was putting the tablecloths down on the table and that dog was jumping up on that damn table? Did y'all see that? Y'all saw how Adrienne showed up with her dog and how her dog was all over that place where people go eat. Y'all saw that? See, this why we don't eat the food at the potluck. This is why we don't eat the food at the potluck. Why is your dog jumping up on the table where we gonna eat? And nobody think it was a problem? Nobody thought that was an issue? Okay. So she shows up with her damn dog and she proceeds to start talking about how she is unimpressed. She is not impressed with what Gertie has done. She don't like the way the bar is decorated. She don't like the way the table is set. That this is not Tulum. She is underwhelmed. Well, here is where Gertie was like, now the other night I thought you was throwing me some shade, but I absolutely know now that you were throwing me shade. I feel it all through here. It just got cold as hell because I felt that shade, okay? And it was at that moment that I knew, Gertie gonna get you, girl. Excuse me, y'all. Gertie is gonna get you, girl. You basically just insulted that woman's livelihood. Not something she does as a hobby. Not something she does as a little something to do around the house. Not that she's just starting out in the industry of party planning. Ma'am, by all of y'all's accounts, she is the woman to get to do your party in Miami, okay? She may not be nationally known, but she has definitely made her bones down in Miami. And for you to walk in the door and basically let it be known that you are unimpressed by everything that she's doing. And did I mention she's doing it for free? Now, I don't know if you were in your feelings because you offered to do the party and she told you no, or whatever the situation is, but you seem to have a stick up your butt as it relates to Gertie. But Gertie's going to have the final laugh, okay? So, all the ladies start showing up. You know, like I said, the theme is Tulum, so all of them have on these very, you know, I guess high end bathing suit wrap situations. Because at first I was trying to figure out what these outfits were, but then when they said that the theme is Tulum, I said, okay, I guess this is supposed to be beach wear, but not bathing suit, but beach ready attire. I don't know, child, whatever. So Gertie says, so Martina. And it was funny because Gertie goes tell Martina. She said, Martina, I'm so sorry. You know, she said, I took over your whole house. Martina was like, you did. I like Martina. I know that Martina, I feel like Martina is only agreed to do this show the same way a lot of these house husbands agree to do the show, because that's what their wives want to do, and they just entertaining their wives. Because I could tell that Martina could care less about any of this. Okay. She could care less. But I also feel like she is entertaining it. She is here for the shits, okay? Now, Gertie starts talking about, so Martina, how you feel about your wife out here washing other women's feet? And Martina, and it was so funny because before Martina could answer, Julia was like, oh, I told her all about it. I already covered my butt. I told her all about it. Martina was like, yeah, you told me about it, but I'm still not clear on how all this went down. Like, I'm just not clear on all of that. But yeah, I mean, you told me. Okay. Okay. So I guess Gertie didn't get the total response that she wanted. So when they would sit down at dinner, Gertie brings it up again. And this time Martina does sort of bite. And Martina says, so Adrian, I just have a question. What is it that you did that was so special that you got my wife washing your feet? Because, I mean, let's be clear. We've been married for 10 years, and I never got a massage. She never gave me a foot massage. You know, like, I would pay her to massage my feet. She won't touch my feet. But I'm just wondering what it was that you did that was so special that she rubbing your feet and stuff. And she was like, well, I washed them too. Martina said, oh, you washed? Are you the Pope? Are you the Pope? She washed your feet? Are you the Pope? And Juliana's like, what? She was like, well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, are you the Pope? Because I'm just trying to figure out. And Gertie is over there like. So now Adrian realizes what's up, right? She realizes Gertie is setting her up. So now she's decided that she's going to be as nasty to Gertie as she could possibly be. And she says, well, nobody likes you anyway. I mean, nobody really likes you. And here's where I kind of had an issue. Because the rest of the ladies kind of looked around like they were uncomfortable. But none of them defended Gertie. You know who defended Gertie? Martina. Martina was like, well, I like you. I like her. I kind of feel like she don't like you, Adrian. She don't like you. And so they get into it. And so now this is where Gertie did start getting on my nerves. Now, Gertie, I was with you in the beginning and I saw you what you was doing, okay? I was here for it and I was okay with it. But this is where you were getting on my nerves. She just kept talking. She kept talking. Her and Adrian kept talking. So then Nicole was like, girl, she was telling Adrian, you in my space, you in my personal space, you being so aggressive. Like, it was a lot. Now, Adrian was being a bitch. I ain't gonna lie. But Gertie, you was doing a bit much now, too. So then Nicole volunteers to move her seat so that, you know, Adrian doesn't have to be and Gertie don't have to, because they were sitting next to each other. But Adrian wants Gertie to move. Gertie was like, I'm not moving. She was like, well, why don't you just move? Just move. Gertie was like, I'm not. This is my seat. You see right here my table setting? You see my name? That's my name. I'm not moving. This is my seat. You have a problem, you can move. But I'm not going anywhere. So then they finally say, well, Adrian, you move over to where Julia is. Julia gets up and starts kissing on Adriana. And of course, you know, the camera went over to Martina, like, watching them. And I was like, girl, like, that's what you're going to do? You're just going to keep kissing her? Right there in front of your wife. You're just going to keep kissing her right there in front of your wife. And she said, well, in Russia, you know, that's how we end arguments. That's what we do in Russia. We just kiss each other to end arguments. Okay. All right, girl, you're going to be single in Russia in a minute. It's going to be a new show for you. You keep this up. So Gertie gets up from the table. So Gertie starts talking about, you don't know my struggle, you don't know my story, and she starts talking about how her brother died and her brother's kids died and how she had to do this and she had to do that and how she came over here to Haiti with nothing. And here go Adrian. You're not the only one that came to this country with no money. You're not the only one who's got a struggle story. And Martina was like, girl, let her tell her story. Like, let her talk. And Adrian was like, but she just, everything has to be about her. She turns everything about her. She makes everything about her. Martina was like, but let her tell her story. Like, let her get it out. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand the problem. Like, why what is the problem? So baby Gertie gets up and she walks away. She goes to the bathroom, and of course all the ladies follow her, and they're like, girl, it's okay. I don't know why she's being so aggressive. I don't know why she's being so rude to you. Don't worry about it, girl. We like you. We got your back. You know, right now she's my friend, but right now I don't like how she's acting. So it kind of, the whole thing sort of turned on Adriana because all the ladies seem to sort of take Gertie's side in this. Now Gertie, I'm gonna tell you, the leash is short, okay? Don't push it too far because they are her friends, okay? They ain't like how she acted in that night, but don't think they're going to totally flip the script on her because that's not what's going to happen right now, okay? But you, for that night, you had them. So then they end up coming back to the table, and everybody is sort of just telling, you know, Adrian, like, girl, read the room. Like, she was telling her story. Let her have her moment. Let her have her sob story. Let it go. And then we ended up cutting the cake. And, you know, everything was everything. But like I said, we definitely set the stage for what's going to happen next, honey, for how this is about to go down. But I see you, Gertie. And I see you too, Adriana. I see both of y'all in this moment, okay? But y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments. Peace.